right this right of Grand Rising. Once again, man, out here. And today I just want to talk about complications. Complications. You know, the act of something being complicated or difficult. Not always easy to understand. Not always easy to work with. Something to make your life challenging, something that presents a challenge, you know, something that puts a damper on your day, tries to put a damper on your day, or as I like to say, puts a monkey wrench in the game. All right, well, complications, you know, you got to think about each one of us individuals. We have these pre-written books about each one of our lives. You know, that comes down from a higher order. That comes down from sometimes someone that you don't understand, or someone that you don't quite know. You know, the orchestrator, the originator, the creator. And most of the time, the chapters, the outlines of these books are pre-written. But the good thing about that is each one of us have the authority, or have the potential to have the authority to change the narrative inside of each chapter. In other words, we can edit our chapters. You know, we can manifest. You know, we can pray about some things, and it'll begin to change day-to-day situations. Even though the outline, the main outline of where you're to be, some things are going to be beyond your control. Sometimes you're placed in situations and you don't necessarily want to be there, but it's your chapter. You know, you have to endure it. But sometimes you may have to edit it. Sometimes you may have to have the power to control what's going on around you when it's within your control. You know? So complications, you know, sometimes they cause you to give up. Complications will cause you to throw in the towel. Complications will make you wonder what's going on. So it's always good to take a step back. Take a step back. Focus on what it is you're doing. Focus on your environment, and then begin to take action. But don't do that without taking a step back first, without contemplating on a thing, because no man can build a city, or no man can begin a project without first thinking about it and planning it out. You know, you're not going to build that house properly without the proper blueprint. So, you know, don't let complications stop you. But sometimes complications are in the way to keep you from wasting time. Sometimes complications are in the way by the writer of the book. And it's not always to harm you. It's not always to destroy you. But complications are there as a roadblock to cause you to detour because you're going wrong. Or it may be greater destruction up the road. So, you know, it's going to be a barrel. It's going to be that doggone orange and white barrel in the way telling you, detour, go this way because it's going to be better for you. So sometimes we have to embrace the complication. Embrace the complication. You know, don't nobody like difficulty. You know, we don't really care too much for a lot of difficulty, but we got to understand, if we're going to be pressing that iron, you know, if you're going to be lifting you some weights, trying to get the muscles right, you know, or whatever you're going to do, that resistance, it's not going to be to kill you, but it's going to be what's necessary in order for you to get the proper gains. You're going to have a little difficulty. You're going to have some resistance. So, I just advise you to take the complications for what they are and look at them as a way to either proceed with caution or just stay away from that thing, because the complications are going to let you know. It's the same way you can apply this principle to relationships, especially if it's somebody that you're meeting for the first time. If it's a lot of complications, you gotta weigh that out. You gotta think about this. You gotta ask yourself, is this really what I want? Because there's red flags all over the place from the get-go, all over the place from the door, letting you know this might not be the one, man. Or if you in it for the long haul, then you gotta be willing to work through the complications in order to get to the good stuff. So, don't let complications scare you, but just use complications as a means of taking a step back, analyzing your situation before you just move forward. But don't just breeze through, being a mindless individual. When you see complications, then you need to think about, man, what's going on here? Is this something that's going to be greater than me? Or is this going to be something that I could solve? Or something that I should have solved earlier? I always use complications as a lesson instead of just something to be mad about or something to throw you off the whole rocker of your day. That's what's on my mind today, man. Don't let complications cause you to have a bad mindset. See them for what they are. Make the proper adjustments. Yeah.